is my reading reflection for the William Allen White Award. And the book that I chose is Clementine by Sarah Pennypacker, illustrated by Marla Frazee. And this was copyrighted in 2006. It's a transitional book because it doesn't have very many illustrations. It's mostly writing. It's 136 pages long, and I would say it's for 8 to 10-year-olds. So this book is about Clementine. She's obviously, like, the front cover shows that she is goofy. She's a goofy girl, and she's having a horrible week, and she has a different perspective on life compared to most people, and especially most in the book. Many people, including her teachers and her best friend's mom, always looking at her as the naughty kid. And a famous line in the book was that everyone always says that she needs to pay attention and that she's never paying attention. But to her, she is paying attention, but probably not to the things that the people want her to pay attention to. So she's always wants to help people. So, for example, her best friend, Margaret, cut all of her hair off because she got glue in it. So Clementine thought it'd be best if she helped her cut the rest of her hair off, and then she, with her creative thinking, she even thought to take a permanent marker, and color it a different color. So she always wants to help. She's very creative, and she always thinks she has a solution to everything. And throughout the story, each of her solutions just caused her to get into trouble, except finally one of her ideas actually worked. And that was when she discovered a solution to remove all the pigeons from the apartment building she lives in, which her dad manages. So because the pigeons were always pooping all over the entrance of the apartment building, and she did find a solution to that, which made her dad look at her as a hero for her, and since he's the manager of the building. As far as the illustrations, there aren't very many, but the ones that there are, they're in black and white. And they just help show how goofy Clementine is and how creative she is, and also how ornery she is. She's really ornery in the book. And then I always think that some illustrations are important, especially for 8 to 10-year-olds, because it keeps them still interested in the book. And then the theme of the story is friendship. So the reflective response. The purpose of this book is to share with children that with actions come consequences. Clementine is an example of how kids shouldn't act in school because she's kind of a smart mouth to her teachers, because she always tells them that she's paying attention, and she's just kind of a smart aleck. And then she never learns her lesson, and I think children will easily pick up on that like they can easily pick out when Clementine is doing something wrong and how she should change it, but she never does because Clementine is Clementine. So I just think that the readers will be thinking of solutions in their own head as how Clementine could make the situation better and not get in trouble. So it kind of makes them think ahead. And then Clementine could have told Margaret, like when Margaret wanted her hair red, Clementine could have said, "No, Margaret, you don't need to color your hair." But instead, she was like, "Oh yeah, I'll get a permanent marker and I'll color your head." Like, she's always just making bad choices. And then, although she is naughty, she is undeniably hilarious. The way that Pennypacker writes this story and makes her to be who she is pretty incredible. Like, even the first page of the book, it just already tells the reader how funny she is. So I also think that it helps the children learn that life doesn't always have to be so serious, and that you should always be yourself. And there's not one page in this book that Clementine is not Clementine. And I think that's good for this age of kids, because around 8 to 10 years old, this book is aimed towards girls. Boys could read it too, but they start becoming like self-conscious of themselves. And I think when they read this book, I would hope that they see it's okay to be yourself. And the lesson I would want them to learn is to be like Clementine and express yourself. So for this activity, I would have students fill out a word web. So in the middle, I'd have them put Clementine's name and then have like 5 other separate bubbles to creative words that show Clementine's personality. And then we could go through as a group and discuss like why'd you put Goofy? Why is she Goofy? Or why, whatever. And then after that, they will do their own of themselves. So it's kind of like an activity to help them with their self-esteem. And then we share them with class so that they have to be confident in the descriptive words that they chose for themselves. So that's all I have for today. Thank you for listening.